Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys have your coffee. I don't know what time of the day this video is going to come out, but I think I've got a really neat story for you out of, well, here, I'm going to just dive right in. It's about real estate. Luxury home sales plunge 18% amid interest rate shock. Now, when we're talking about real estate, I want you to understand a couple different dynamics that I learned from the crash of '08. Okay. Again, just for anyone that's new, if you are new, I highly suggest you, I don't highly suggest it, stick around because I do have a lot of experience in multiple different uh, types of investing. I invested in the .com and sold my stocks before the crash, and I sold all my real estate in mid 2006 because the crash was actually happening back then, and protected a lot of my wealth through getting out of a certain asset class, real estate. Right. Well, I learned a lot of stuff about real estate, and right now we're seeing a direct mirror image. However, it is. No, I'm not joking. 10 times worse, and we are witnessing this in real time, and I'm able to show you guys how to protect your wealth through this. Okay. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am a real estate professional. I am a real estate agent, but I also am a real estate professional in the eyes of the IRS because of how much real estate I owned and sold and did all that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's an actually, just so you guys know, a little sidebar, that's a classification for certain tax advantages for your tax purposes. All right. This isn't about tax advice. All right. It says luxury home sales are plunging 18% amid the interest rate shock. When a crash happens and things start to look bad, a couple different things happen. Days on market extend, they get farther, right? At the top of a real estate market, you have this what's called blow off top, which means you have a collapse in the amount of more homes available for sale. And the reason why is because people just do not simply have the money to sell their house and move up in life. Okay. So the amount of homes for sale collapses, right? And we saw that starting back in last July, okay? And that's when I called the top of the market, nailed that. But what people don't understand is when they say, well, it's not the top of the market because look, your silly home prices are going up. That's not what investors are looking at. Investors are looking at the velocity of transactions. They're looking at how healthy the market is, because when you're an investor and you want to flip homes, you want to be able to not only sell them, but you want to be able to buy them too. Okay, and right now we have, let's say, sort of an illiquid market right now. If you're a buyer, you're having a hard time buying, right? Because there's so few homes. That's one of the things that happens. Days on market extend, and that's what we're seeing right now. But you start to see price reductions, right? And you have two levels of price reductions. You have price reductions that actually happen in the lower end real estate first, and you're gonna probably think that that's crazy, but it actually is true. And what happens is you have the outlying areas start to reduce their prices, because anytime a real estate bubble explodes, what happens in any metropolitan area that's very people love living in, but they get priced out of that market, they start to go and buy real estate in the outlying areas, suburbs, right? And places you would never have thought of buying before, you're now thinking about because you just simply can't afford anything else, right? Well, when the real estate downturns, first off, you start to see those outlying areas now not sell. So days on market extend, they start to drop their price. Then that starts to get worse and worse, and it starts to flow back into that metropolitan area. But here's the other thing that does not sell: luxury homes. And I want people to understand that luxury homes does not mean the 1% of the world, the elite, are buying them, right? The high earners, the 1%ers, the guys that are making over, let's say, $350,000, $650,000 and up. These are not the people that you have to worry about. It's the upper middle class. The upper middle class making anywhere between, let's say, $200,000 and $350,000. These are the people that over leverage themselves because they want to impress the people around them, right? Which you should never do, quite frankly. What happens is those homes start to have that shockwave. So we're going to talk about that right here, okay? So it says when mortgage rates soar and mortgage applications crash, a housing affordability crisis is underway. That is what's happening right now. Mortgage applications are collapsing right now. And you're going to see a lot of layoffs in the mortgage industry, very similar to what we saw in 2006. Okay. It says the latest sign of cooling demand and possible turning point in real estate markets could be the plunge in luxury home sales. Now, this is a new Redfin report shows the sale of luxury homes tumbled 17.8% year over year. Okay, so that's a big number, and I want you to remember, everybody's thinking about how Redfin and what is it, Zillow keep coming out with these numbers. Oh, look, a real estate increased 21% year over year was the latest numbers, right? But you have to realize what real estate. was pricing those gains, right? And those are your lower priced homes, right? That's what everyone's vying for. They're not vying for these expensive homes. Why? Because they do not have the money for it. It says this number tumbled 17.8% during the 3 months ending April 30th, the most significant drop since the start of the pandemic. 2 other times in the past decade saw steeper declines, both in the early days of the pandemic before the exodus out of metro areas. So that's what I'm talking about. Also, I want you to realize that in 2018, we were in a crisis, a big crisis, and banking crisis, which actually hit its blow off top in September of 2019. Ironically, 6 weeks before everything came out of China. All right. And there's a lot going on there. It was so bad. The banks were so scared to lend to each other. The overnight lending rate was over 12%. And to give you an idea how bad that is, when Lehman collapsed, that rate was only at 8%. When 9/11 happened, it was at 8%. All right. So that's how bad it got. The Federal Reserve had to actually step in and start to lend money to banks because banks were so scared to talk to each other. All right. So it says the luxury market, this is a quote, luxury market is cooling off or is cooling as soaring interest rates, a tepid stock market, inflation, and economic certainty put a damper on the demand. I want you to understand that that's a very interesting quote. It's that an economic certainty put a damper on demand. See, it is certain that we are going into a housing crash. I don't care what anybody says on CNBC. They're all wrong. I want you to understand that, okay? There are very few even YouTubers that were investors in real estate before 2004 when the market started to turn because the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates. It's weird. It's almost like it's repeating itself, but it's going to be worse this time. And your real estate professionals that are telling you, oh, no, this time is different. Yeah, you're a brand new real estate agent. You have no concept of real estate markets or cycles, and you should be nosed in the books because you are about to get the lesson of a lifetime. Now, the reason why I say that stuff with so much certainty is because I know what it's like to sell my homes before a correction, right? I saved my family from a lot of wealth destruction. And at the same time, I had capital to move back into markets in 2010. Now, I didn't go back into real estate, which I regret, but my wife, we were buying and selling so many homes. I think at our record pace was a home every 8 weeks back in the early 2000s, right? Fun fact, we were actually offered a home flipping show, and Mrs. Ninja said absolutely not. That was back in 2003 because we were flipping homes like you wouldn't believe. So, but my point being is that I was able to take that capital and put it into businesses, and they did very well, and it was great. Then I went into crypto, a whole nother story, right? But the point is that right now you are seeing the destruction of real estate. You're seeing price reductions across the board, not across the board, but in the lower tiered pricing, right? In the outlying areas, outside of metropolitan areas. You are also seeing luxury homes crater. That's exciting because I'm going to go buy me a luxury home during this one. I'm going to go buy a really nice one, but I'm also going to go buy 100 rentals in the first year that this happens. And I'm going to take you all with me through that journey, how to do it, how to sell, how to buy real estate with no money down during a crash. It is going to be absolutely epic because I was using no money down deals in 2001, 2002. It was just incredible. So I hope you guys got something out of this. There is a tractor making an insanely crazy amount of noise over there, so I'm gonna stop right now. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks for everybody hitting the thumbs up. Thank you to all my new subscribers. And I want to say right now, you are in good company because I have the best subscribers in the world because they are prepared and not scared. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.